Greetings everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Stranded Alien Dawn. Episode 2, Let's Pretend That Didn't Happen. I think it's safe to say that a pawn base is imminent. Just because it's imminent doesn't necessarily mean I'm, jumping to move there just yet. This starter camp is going to be good enough for a while, I think. So another thing I want to do is set up some traps right at the entryway of my encampment, so that if I do get attacked, I can retreat into the camp, and hopefully the traps will get sprung by whomever is attacking me. And it only costs a little bit of scrap metal, so it's not too expensive. Watch me get so lucky that the first consortium robots just land on an insect hive and get shredded. I would be okay with that. I'm also going to start using the animal fats that I have from hunting to craft into, or using the meat to craft into essentially lard, so that we can potentially be able to make fuel. Because one of the things that you need to manage pretty early on is to secure a source of nutrients for Hope. Because if you don't have the ability to make fuel or harvest silicon pretty early on, Hope will die. She needs energy to survive. So there we go, we got skin bark. This is a skin bark plant. And it gives us the available research project for veggie armor. Basically harvesting this twisted plant and turning it into armor, because it's a textile. Alright, Hope. I'm going to set up a very large silicon leaf area back here, a 12 by 12. And Hope will get that done. She is now our farmer. Black fabrics and leather. Oh, skin bark is not. Yeah, right. I have to make it into leather. That's fine. Extra steps and all. So we're pretty good on food. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bolster our medicine for our first fight. And we just discovered a cure plant. So a cure plant can be harvested for antibiotics, this succulent. Which is going to be helpful if we have infections or sicknesses. And Hope is already done sowing a bunch of silicon leaf plants. Perfect. And there we go. We just harvested synthetics off of the landing pod. So we're getting even more textiles available to us. Good. I think I'm going to order Hope to finish off the weapon. Oh, she's already doing it. Perfect. The weaponsmithing research so that I can start to make weapons for the first fight. Are the attributes of these plants random? No, they're not. Every time you play a Saltu map, the plants are going to be the same. And then the other biomes will have some plants in common. Like, for instance, if you play Desertum or Sobrius, the desert and the forest, you know, you might see orange mushrooms still. You might see these, you know, these glowing trees, but a lot of the other flora and some of the fauna will be different. So there's similarities and differences of every biome. So that's a dandelion tree. And you can harvest dandelion spores off of them and turn those spores into healing balm, which is good for burns, or cook them for food. And craft weapons is done. So I'm going to craft 2 spears. And I'm going to move that up to the top of the queue so that Sora will have a gun and Ember and Melody will have spears. Hey, Big Donowski. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream. Does Hope dream about electric sheep? I don't know. She'll tell us if she does. Ooh, we just scavenged liquid fuel off of the landing pod. Landing, used loosely, it was a crashing pod as we were shot down from the consortium. Now, for Hope, I am going to turn her off of drinking liquid fuel raw, as it will upset her. As long as we have silica gel, that is a preferred food source. She can eat, silica, or drink gasoline or fuel raw, but it's an upsetting thing. And it's also not very energy efficient either, so best to be avoided. So who's my crafter again? Melody? Alright, I'll set Melody up to make those spears. How do we make that much meat soup? Oh, because I misclicked. I wanted them to make 3. I must have clicked 10. That's why it's rotting so much. Alright, Melody, time for you to make spears. So we're still researching metal refinement, so we can either melt metallic ore or scrap metal down into metal ingots from a furnace. Oh, scavenged a whole bunch of cloth. Yeah, let's add that as well. So I want to make bandages from cloth until we have 20 of them. Once we have the spears done. Turn off the emergency rations so they only use soups? Yeah, I could do that. Keep the emergency rations, because the emergency rations don't spoil as long as they're shelved. So keep them on. And now that I have, I've scavenged liquid fuel from the pod, and I just harvested silica, I can now research silica energel, which is one of her 2 preferred food sources. Which I will research after I finish off metal refinement. Oh, Ember, you are scavenging? Alright, so let's scavenge this drop ship then. Metal refinement's done. And I think what I might do is not actually make a metal refinery, like a stone one right now, and wait until I have electric metal refinement when I finish the electric grids. So the current priority is get weapons for first combat. And I don't have any yet. It's also possible to scavenge weapons off of the landing pods. Sometimes you can get really good weapons really early on, which is very lucky. Like railgun sniping. But I'll give Melody this spear. And then have her make another one. Oh, nice. More metal ingots. Starting to look like my shelves are full, so I'll get another shelf to store stuff. Silica energel is done. So craft silica energel until we have, let's say, 10. I move this up to the top because it's... Oh, here comes the consortium. I can hear him. They are landing. Oh, they're screwed. They're screwed. There's an insect nest, like, right here. Oh, no, that's not where they're landing. So where's the insect nest? It's... I thought it was around here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's right here. Oh yeah, they're screwed. I don't even have to fight this first fight. They're gonna get bugged. Maybe they won't, actually. They could cut through the forest this way. You know what I might do? Hey, Sora. You ready to go mess with the consortium a little bit? I'm gonna lure them into the bugs on purpose. So they're here. We've got 6 G1000 assault. So one has an energy lance, and the others have carbon crossbows. They're a light assault robot. They move fast, but they're not very well armored. And what I want to do is I want to fire on them and lure them towards the bugs so that the bugs take care of them. That's the smart play. If I have to share the same area as a bunch of bugs, I might as well use them to my advantage. Now, as it gets darker, my shooting accuracy gets ruined a little bit, but I'm okay with that. So, Sora's getting shot by crossbows. Oh, she's really getting slowed down. That might have been a bad move. I thought she could have fired and got away, but... Nope, she is unconscious. The thing is, the bugs are now engaged with the robots, so I'm sending Melody in to go for a rescue. And checking with her health. She's bleeding quickly, but she's, I think, rescuable. Although Ember just started puking. She must have ate something weird. Melody, what the hell is wrong with you? I told her to go rescue, and she, like, didn't. Oh, Hope's already doing it. Okay, I'll have Hope do the rescue. I actually might not have time to save Sora. She's bleeding pretty quick. These robots lit her up fast. There is not so much like a way to like sleep on the ground like RimWorld has. Yeah, I'm surprised she got cut up so fast. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna survive. Because there's not really a way to treat. Well, I think she's just gonna die, and that will be my mistake to live with. She was too far from camp, and she bled out too quick. It shows you the danger of the consortium crossbowmen. What I tried to do is I tried to send her during the daytime, when she wouldn't have such an accuracy penalty, but that didn't play out the way I had hoped. So I'll have Ember construct a grave, and we'll bury her with honors, giving her life for hope. So where is she exactly? What I should have done is I should have just turtled and used my traps. I suppose what I could do is, should I show the correct way of defense? You know, because there's always safe scumming, and I've got a really bad head cold, so I'm definitely not playing 100%. But feel free to vote no. I don't care. It can ultimately be up to you. Alright, Ember. Let's have you go and bury her. And probably, before she gets home, I'll just, unequip her. Oh, Hope, don't eat that. No, don't finish previous meal. I literally just told you not to eat that. And now you're gonna be like, well, I ate silicon. Yeah, you did. Despite me telling you not to. It looks like after a minute you guys want me to show you the proper way of defense. And I set up all these traps and I rounded the... Hopefully what will happen is that the game will send me even more attackers. That would be ideal. Just to punish me for my stupidity. Alright, so we have reversed time and I'm gonna try not to make that kind of mistake twice. So one thing that, this game doesn't do as well as like a game like RimWorld is you don't carry around medicine on your person. So in order to like treat someone medically, you have to kind of bring them all the way back to camp. So if you go down far from camp, you're just sort of screwed, in other words, which is just the way it is. But I'll play with that in mind, because I did have proper defenses already for the camp and then promptly ignored them and didn't use them, which is my bad. But a mistake not to be made twice. So it looks like the soil over here, we've got silt, loam, infertile soil, clay, sort of close by. Because different things grow in different soils. So that's good. There's a bit of variety near the pond where y'all want me to set up. Did we finish that spear? No, not yet. Oh, Lord. See, this is what I was talking about. Is sometimes you get really lucky and get amazing weapons. With this railgun sniper, Sora could probably solo the first wave of consortium troops. So this other gun I'll give to Ember. And then the spear can be Melody's. And you can equip a ranged and a melee at the same time. That works. So I don't have any queued research. Let's go with palm oil. So that I can start to get fuel. And then electric smelting and refrigerators. This timeline is much better. Yeah, no kidding. So here's the consortium. They're even more screwed than last time, I think. Oh no, they're landing in the same spot. But I'll play this one smarter. Where I'm not gonna be a human potato this time around. So palm oil is done. And I'm gonna get a little oil press to be able to press the palm oil into fuel. Extract palm oil until we have 100 of it. Is Hope always a pacifist? No. How Hope develops is up to you guys, and you voted for her to become a farmer, not a fighter. But she doesn't have to be. There is an achievement to have her gain full sentience without ever fighting, but with that said, we don't have to achievement hunt. I don't care about that at all. I'll take things that don't matter to me for 100. So in a second here, the consortium should be attacking me, as they usually just stage for like a few hours and then they attack, giving you time to prepare a defense. And here we go, like clockwork. So they did bypass the bugs, as was sort of expected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft Ember and Sora, because Sora's going to rip them apart with that railgun sniper, and being around Ember gives her a greater chance to hit and crit. And then I'm going to have them fall back into the camp once it's time. I'm actually going to have Hope just continue to work. She's a pacifist, so she can't even be involved in this fight. You can see the little peace symbol next to her head. She doesn't know how to fight yet. Or maybe ever. But yeah, this should be stupidly easy. So, Sora, because she's near Ember, Ember's one of her traits is that she has tactical commander. Boom, there goes one. There goes another. As you can see, the timelines are a little bit gentler. There goes third. 4. And let's actually use our defenses now, so I don't even get hit. Ah, you missed me. You know what? I don't enjoy you shooting at me, so you're dead too. So these laser pike attackers can be pretty dangerous if you let them get too close to you. So it's good to put some distance and get them trapped. Come on. There we go. He's dead. Was that the last one? I thought it was 5. But the combat music went away, so I'm assuming I'm done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, that was number 6. Come on. There we go. So, one of the advantages of killing these robots is you can take the weapons off of them. So you can take the crossbows that they have, or lances, and then you can also disassemble them for electronics, allowing you to upstart your own robotics program. So for instance, Sora just grabbed a carbon crossbow off of one of them. What was... Oh, you were harvesting and you decided not to. Alright, that's fine. That's how that fight should have gone. So here, as you can see, there's a carbon crossbow that I can dismantle for carbon fiber and synthetic textiles, or I can just use it. And I'm going to have Melody equip it. And Sora's coming back out here to unequip the others. Another carbon crossbow. Alright, let's turn off their ability to eat the ration meals again. Hope is gathering sausage palm to make herself her own fuel. I personally, Tech Viper, don't like work areas. I don't like the way they operate. They're useful only when you're trying to avoid dangerous areas, but as long as you don't set up work in those areas, I don't care for them, so I won't be using them. And then once you've removed the equipment off of the robot, you can scavenge them. So this one scavenged for galactic coins, which is like currency, and metal alloys. We also got a laser pike. I'm going to give that to Ember. Well, actually, hold on. This laser pike dismantles into a power cell, so I'm going to dismantle that one into a power cell instead. Scrap metal and more coins. Sora decided to vomit on one of them. Nice. Show him who's boss, Sora. And let's do the last two. No electronics so far. Oh, some silica gel and robot repair parts. And there we go, electronics. Electronics, of course, is primarily what you need to set up a power grid, so that's really nice. So our best source of power for this right now is graphene solar cells. That's going to be the most efficient, bang for a buck. So I am going to want to research solar and then graphene solar so that we can have really nice solar panels when we kickstart our solar program. But I think before that, I probably want to get electronics crafting, which means I need to find or produce silicon first. So, Hope, let's have you go harvest this silicon leaf so that I can actually start to research electronics. Because you shouldn't just rely on salvaging electronics from robots. It's not going to be enough for you to set up a robust power grid. You failed? Oh, man. If there was ever a time not to fail. Alright, let's see if there's other silicon leaf around. Yeah, there's some here. Try again. Now, because Hope doesn't really have high demands as a very low sentience robot, going really far, traveling really far in order to queue up tasks is good for her to do early on. So if you need to survey something that's like on the other side of the map, have her like drink silica energel or Scylla or whatever it's called, and then send her to the other side of the map, because as she gains sentience, that's going to piss her off, you know, because she's going to want creature comforts. But early on, she doesn't care for creature comforts really at all. She's, as you can see, she's like just 100% happy all the time. So if there are tricky to get to survey points for specific resources or harvesting locations that are important, things like that, early on is the time to do it. So instead of finishing researching refrigerators, I'm going to jumpstart by holding left shift to put electronics crafting in there next. Oh, and also the silica energel. So let's do silica energel first, because that's her food source, and then do electronics crafting. And now that I've found silica, let's take that off her diet, exactly. I don't want her eating the silica raw, as it's a waste. Alright, so we have a little bit of variety of food. Ember is carrying in some of the stuff that we grabbed. We finished scavenging the landing pod, We have not started salvaging it. That's a totally different research, which I'll get to eventually. But salvaging it removes it completely and gets every last ounce of resource from it. The other thing I could do, if I wanted to get my power grid up and ready now, is because I'm fighting these robots that often will have power cells in them, I could always use the power cell generator, which guarantees you 100 electricity for 20 days, which is a pretty good way to, like, upstart your camp. And in this specific scenario, because of how common the power cells are, there's, you know, it's not so big of a cost to have to make power cells or to scavenge power cells off of the dead robots. So, question to you guys. Should I build a power cell generator? And if I did build a power cell generator, I think what I would do is start to try to settle into the lake early by researching the construction basics and building a basic wood structure out that way. Generally, I don't bother building a base until I have power. There's not so much of an advantage to have 4 walls and a roof until you have power, unless you live in a hostile biome, you know, that isn't temperate. The jungle here is pretty temperate. It doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. Unlike Desertum, where, like, you can get hypothermic pretty easy, and early on if you're not careful. Here, it's not a big deal. Hey, Moles! Thank you for the resub, by the way. All 15 minutes ago that I didn't even notice. Appreciate it. Sorry, I'm oblivious. Alright, looks like you guys are saying yay to the power cell generator. So I think what that means, for me, is to prioritize construction basics next. So that I can actually set up So right at the start of the game, in terms of buildings, you really can't build buildings outside of, like, a campground until you get some additional research. So there's pretty much no point in, like, settling in, so to speak, until you get that initial research going. So that's what's next. So the idea that I have for this spot here, and you'll just have to bear with me because I don't have the proper materials, is to probably have the entryway come in this way. So enemies come along the shoreline where my shooters are in towers here with turrets, and then to have this all walled off like this. A very small footprint compound where the farms are outside of the compound, but covered by the turrets themselves. Because robots are smart enough, the robots that attack you are smart enough that, like, they're not gonna just, like, fall for, especially the ranged ones. The ranged ones are going to fire on the flamethrowers. Outside of this specific scenario, flamethrowers are amazing at killing swarms of bugs. But robots will just shoot at your flamethrowers and break them. So flamethrowers and that flamethrower meta doesn't really work here. Meaning that we're going to want to go towards automated turrets rather quickly, I think. So that we can... But we can also... There's battle drones and defense bots. So we can actually make our own robots for defense. And without spoiling too much, there's also some breakthroughs that we're going to have access to later on as we fight the robots. Where you start to use the robots' technology against them by reverse engineering their technologies and using it to kill the robots yourselves. We'll definitely get to that at some point. Alright, so Melody and Hope are grinding through the construction basics research. And I'm going to have Ember and Sora start to stockpile wood for the base. Because our initial structure is going to be out of wood, and I think the defenses for the structure will be made out of concrete. The walls. Because wooden walls won't hold up very, very well against robot attacks. Especially the advanced ones that eventually show up and kill you. Hope! Social skill acquired. Initialization of tertiary cognitive matrices complete. Loading new human behavioral patterns complete. Greetings. I've been analyzing human behavior for some time now. 7 days, I guess. And I believe I'm prepared to apply my skills. I'm eager to engage in casual conversations and the exchange of verbal information. And perhaps even explore the concept of falling in love. If it's feasible for a semi-sentient mechanical entity like myself. Well, good for you. So now she's able to have social interactions with others. And hopefully she doesn't use terms like fleshy meat bag, because, you know, that might upset the others. Don't cut the big tree. This one? Alright, I'll leave it in place at the end of the pond. I'm gonna cut the other big one, though. Hey, Tech, thanks for the bits. Cut this big one, too. Oh, great. Melody's already getting into petty arguments with Hope. Can the robot I have go rogue? Sort of. They can still have mental breakdowns. If that's what rogue is. They can be upset to the point where they just, like, get pissed off and need to clear their head by walking off. So I think I'm going to put Melody on crafting duty. And leave Hope to research for now. I'm not going to be able to make liquid fuel myself until I have one of my people able to get to crafting level 3. So Melody is the most skilled crafter that we currently have. So she dons the mantle of crafter at the moment. And construction basics are almost done. So there's construction basics. I'm doing wooden fortifications now, which is like wooden towers, walls, etc. And researching that will then subsequently unlock concrete rooms for concrete fortifications, which is really nice. Here. So for that, actually, I just need to find and produce concrete. But concrete rooms is what unlocks concrete, so it's kind of like chicken and the egg. The other thing I was looking for... Oh, do I already have it? Yeah, I already have electric furnaces. Okay, cool. So electric furnaces are going to allow me to bake the stone into concrete. Is crafting bandages queued? It is not. Because we need to make veggie leather first. But I have a bunch of regular cloth, so I will queue it up with just regular cloth that we've scavenged. But I want to make it from veggie leather because that's what's available around us at the moment. Hey Zinlin, I appreciate you tuning in live. Fail. So here, Melody is making silica energel for her to eat. I think that's under... Actually, I don't know what heading it's under. Oh, there it is. Other items. So we only had 4 of it, so it's good that we're getting it. Thank you for tuning in to Stranded Alien Dawn Guardians, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 18th as part of a miniseries marathon. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that changes cannot be made to the series as it was only streamed once. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams, and if you would like to join my online gaming community, it also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, viewers that came out live for the stream, and viewers like you also that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Guardians,